In this video, we're going to talk about how to get your ex back if he's dating someone else. This is not necessarily a lost cause. We've helped a lot of people go through this. But first, my name is Clay with Modern Love Life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not, because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, please do me a favor by hitting that thumbs up button for this video. When you do that, it does send a message to YouTube that this is a decent video that they might want to show to more people who might be maybe in a similar situation or might want to benefit from this video as well too. So it's kind of like paying it forward as well too. Also, in this video, we are talking about connecting with your ex on an emotional level. We have broken this process down into what we call the X solution program. It goes through advanced relational skills, navigating through X's 5 stages, all that sort of stuff. I'll put a link to it down in the description box below this video if you want to check it out and see if it makes sense for you, if it resonates with you, and if it makes sense for you and you think it's a good fit, you're more than welcome to sign up. If it's not a good fit for you, then no worries, I'm not going to twist your arm. But let's go ahead and get into this. So you and your ex, broke up, and he's gone on and gotten into a rebound relationship with someone else. It can be a really tough place to be in. Back when I was going through my breakups with my big ex, she did get into a relationship with someone else as well too. I know that feeling. I know that like punched in the gut feeling you feel when you find out that like she's with someone or he's with someone or they're spending time together or whatever's going on. It's terrible. And I had a client a while back. I wanted to make this video to share more client stories with you because it is something that I did want to do, as I mentioned a few videos back. But I did have a client a while back whose name was Natalie, and her and her boyfriend broke up, and they lived just down the street from one another. So she had to actually drive by his house pretty much whenever she needed to go anywhere. But one day she started to notice a strange car parked in front of his house. And it wasn't too long before she started to realize that that was another woman's car. And it was really tough for her to even come or go anywhere because she was so agitated by the presence of this car. It was almost like she was kind of like bracing for impact when she'd start heading down the street because she wasn't sure if that car was going to be there or if it wasn't going to be there. And it was just a really hard experience for her because she would just have these images in her mind of her ex with someone else. I think she even actually saw this other woman a few times. She never actually like met her or interacted with her, but she would, see this person outside the house a few times. And it was really hard for her. And so I know that what you may instinctively feel as if you need to do is to stop the rebound relationship, to destroy it, to tear it down, to attack this other person, make them look bad, get your ex to stop seeing them and all that sort of stuff. And, this is very common. I have been there myself. Once again, Natalie was there herself, and it's a really common thing for people to feel compelled to do. However, that's not really the most powerful thing that you can do, that you should be thinking about doing. What you should ideally be thinking about doing is focusing on the connection that you have between yourself and your ex. And as long as that is strong and improving and getting better, then it is eventually going to overtake the connection that your ex is having with this rebound person. And besides, when you think about it, like you don't want your ex to just get back together with you because you've isolated them from any other potential romantic prospects and they're just miserable and they have nothing better to do but to come crawling back over broken shards of glass to you and say, hey, I thought I could do better, but I can't get a date anywhere else, so I'm just gonna have to settle for you. Like that to me seems like it kind of sucks. It probably doesn't seem like a great outcome for you either. So that's not what we want to do. We don't want to just kind of like, attack the rebound relationship and get them to fall apart so that your ex comes crawling back over broken shards of glass to us. But we want to actually be able to connect with our ex better than anyone else, so that your ex intentionally chooses to be with you because the connection is so strong that he, might be able to be in a relationship with this other person or maybe someone else, but he is intentionally choosing to be with you because of the significant connection that both of you have. And so that's why you want to focus in on those emotional connections between the two of you. And that's what we had, Natalie focus on. Yes, she did have every instinct and inclination to focus in on the rebound, to microanalyze everything that they were doing or not doing, everything that they were apparently doing, to read between the lines and speculate on like, well, this happened, what does that mean? This thing was posted on Facebook, what does that mean? Again, that's not what's going to help. What's going to help is you connecting with your ex in terms of creating that strong emotional connection so they intentionally choose to be with you. And so how do we do this? Well, for a lot of people, it starts by recognizing that when you microanalyze your ex's rebound, you're actually creating more anxiety within yourself. You're creating a sort of walking on eggshells, anxious, over analytical sort of way of being. And that's not going to come across well. It's not going to be conducive to a great connection. So what you want to do is you want to focus on like, okay, what's the ideal way of being that I could have that would allow my ex to connect with me and for us to get close together? It might be different for you, but for a lot of people, it's having a really spacious, easygoing, calm, collected, fun, but also willing to drop in and have some serious kinds of talks sort of vibe, right? And that is what we want to focus on. And so, when Natalie was starting to get too worked up over this rebound, I mean, she was, driving by his house, seeing her car every now and then, and it was really working her up. She was, reading between the lines, stressing out a lot and everything. We were like, okay, let's take a step back. Let's chill out. Let's focus on your way of being. Let's give yourself permission to not worry about this for a little while and just focus on you. And that's what she did. She took a little bit of a break. She just stayed home for a little bit, just took care of herself, focused on the self-care, focused on kind of like recentering herself to her own values, her own things that are important to her in life. We have a whole exercise on all of that. And it really kind of transformed the way that she brought herself to connecting with her ex. And it really improved the way that the two of them were able to connect and bond and get close moving forward. And it even got to the point where he intentionally wanted to connect more and more and more with her, and he intentionally ended things with the rebound because there wasn't that strong connection. And you might be wondering like, well, okay, what if my ex and their rebound are really strongly connected themselves? And that's where this comes in. Like, most people don't put a lot of focused, intentional effort on the connection that they have with someone else. It's just sort of like hit or miss. It's luck. That's why people have these notions of, chemistry. There's either chemistry or there's not chemistry. But when you put your focus on actually developing the skills for connection, advanced relational skills, you can intentionally create chemistry with pretty much anyone, except for like someone who, really has like polar opposite values of you, perhaps. I mean, I think you could do it then, but it's going to be a challenging sort of thing. And so that's where you can really stand head and shoulders above most people, because most people, I'll be honest with you, aren't very effective at connecting with one another. And it's just kind of hit or miss. They're just kind of like going through the motions. And, I'll be honest, social media is not helping us out a lot. It really is not. So if you can just put a little bit of focused effort on this, you can most likely stand head and shoulders above 99% of other people out there, give or take. And that's what Natalie did. And that is why her ex ended up breaking up with the rebound and actually got back together with her. And okay, great, wonderful. But that's not the end of the story. A few months later, maybe it was a year later, I don't remember, we got an update from Natalie that she and her ex had actually gotten married. They look really happy. I'm not so sure about the guy's tie, but they look really happy. And last I've heard, they both went on to leave the United States and go travel to Africa doing some charity work, which was important for both of them. So they're actually out, not just, back together in some sort of like, okay, great, we're back to the status quo or something, but they're actually out doing cool things together, traveling the world, living out life dreams, creating, unforgettable memories together with each other as a married couple, not just as like, people that are just hanging out, but they've actually gotten back together, created this new life together, created this new family together in a certain sense, and actually gone out to make an impact in the world. And so that would have never been possible if she hadn't learned how to improve her way of being and improve how she brings herself to the interactions. That's the main takeaway I want you to take from this, is that getting back together with your ex when they're in a rebound relationship, when they're dating someone else, it's not about, over analyzing that relationship or anything like that. It's really about how you're choosing to bring yourself so that you can stand head and shoulders above anyone else when it comes to the connection that the two of you have. Anyway, if you do want to learn more about how you can create that connection with your ex, you might be a good fit for the Ex Solution Program course. We have a link to it in the description box below this video. Check it out. If it seems like it's a good fit for you, you're more than welcome to sign up. If it's not a good fit for you, that's totally okay as well too. Once again, I'm not going to twist your arm. But if you did like this video, please help me out. Help me out by hitting that thumbs up button, sharing this video. It helps to send a message to YouTube that this is a good video and that they might want to, give this channel a little bit of a lift. It would help me out a lot. And if you do want to learn a little bit more about your ex's 5 emotional stages, we do have our video series on the 5 stages your ex goes through. That is right over here, or you might want to check out this video right here. But thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and I'll talk to you next time.